Estamos llegando al final de nuestro recorrido de este congreso en donde apuntamos a dar un montón de herramientas para fomentar primero el autoamor y luego el amor a los demás. Y no queríamos dejar de tocar el tema de la moda, el tema de la ropa, como un arma de poderío para mostrar quiénes somos y un arma que a veces no utilizamos porque somos víctimas de eso que llamamos autoviejismo, es decir, la automarginación por edad y donde dejamos de ponernos ciertas cosas a veces siendo demasiado críticas con nosotras mismas. ¿Qué función cumple la ropa en este tramo de nuestra vida, lo que nos ponemos, lo que nos decimos cuando nos lo ponemos? Y por eso hemos invitado a Angie Weihs, que es una influencer de moda que trabaja hace años en su cuenta Ageless Rebel. Angie es alemana, Angie vive en California y somos fans de su cuenta y de lo que ella transmite a través de la ropa. Así que no queríamos dejar de invitarla al congreso y la tenemos aquí con nosotros y nosotras. Hola Angie, ¿qué tal?
I'm doing really good. So nice to see you.
Yes, finally. I have already presented you in Spanish, so now I would like that you present yourself. I talked something about you're a writer, a stylist, and mostly ageless rebel. Tell us more about you.
Okay, so first of all, I'm standing because I thought, you know, as a fashionista, I have to show you a little bit of my clothes. And I chose my clothes today, not as a weapon, but as a communication tool. This is a storytelling, a mesh top, which has all these wonderful Renaissance images on it. And so, you know, just looking at this, you can fantasize your world and see stories and things like that. And there's a vinyl bustier underneath. And so, yes, I am a writer, an author again very soon, soon means a year for a writer. And I am a fashion stylist in the sense of using fashion for empowerment, for women's empowerment and clarity. So I really loved that process when I started 3 years ago as so upset about ageism and that I'm over 60, that you are considered, not relevant anymore. And I said, hey, I'm a rebel. I was a rebel all my life. I show you we are relevant. And we're especially relevant because at this time, we have so many stories to tell, so much wisdom, so much experience. And I cannot even now fathom why older people are not considered the most amazing people, because they have it all, right? They have a whole life to draw from. And so, ageism is really one of the few isms barely anybody talks about. So we have to be loud. And so I am dressing up against ageism. I'm wearing mini skirts and weird tights with crazy markings and overalls and all the stuff they tell us not to wear. I have long hair, which still women think they have to cut their hair when they're over 50, and I wear dark lipstick. So I'm doing everything wrong with a purpose.
So till now it was supposed that to a certain age correspond certain outfits, true?
Right.
And right. So now it's time to rebel.
Exactly. I had feedback in the beginning, like 2-3 years ago, on a more traditional styling side, where women my age told me that I am just impossible, that they feel annoyed by me because I am so inappropriate. And they felt so provoked. They couldn't stand it. They were really mean, right? So I am not posting much there anymore. Just the more I don't wear traditional, but the calmer clothes. So I came up with something recently where I take the rebel and the inner child and balance it out, which I call edgy elegance. So it is still feminine and elegant, but it has that edge to it. And I think that is something many women can actually follow that trend, to be elegant, which many women at our age think they should be, but you can spice it up, you know, make it a little bit more in people's faces, you know, wear some crazy colors or some really crazy jewelry or high heels. I mean, you know, like older women are not supposed to wear sexy heels because we are not supposed to be sexy. And that's another thing. Women over 50, 60, why are we not sexy anymore? You know, this is crazy, only because you have a couple of lines in your face and on your body. You know,
now it's been a revolution anyhow, and we are women that are empowered and are provoking with these ageist thoughts. So have you felt this ageism in the way you dress? That, for example, somebody stare at you because let's see this woman, old woman dressed in such a way. Have you felt that?
I live in Los Angeles, and there I have a big advantage, right? Because here there are so many movie people, and people are used to crazy and you know, people dressing what they want. There are many people, especially in my neighborhood, who are actually wearing sweats and workout clothes because everything is about yoga and being fit. But I got sometimes, you know, when we were still allowed to go out, I sometimes got, wow, where are you going to? You know, because I have this European style and they think that I am, you know, have something special to go to, but I just went to the coffee shop to write. And, but I never got the ageism from people in the streets. They're just more astonished or smiling or actually treating me like themselves, as if I were ageless. Because I also, and I think that is another thing, it is about our attitude and how we present ourselves, how we walk. If you wear crazy clothes and you walk like as if you don't mean it, then you will be caught, right? It's like what they say, that the bad guys at night, if you walk the streets, you should always walk tough and straight and as if you mean it, right? So then they are less likely to attack you than when you are like shy and fearful, right? So it's attitude. So I think my attitude really says, I'm doing this and don't question it, okay? So that is really something important. And I got what I said before, I got hit by women, you know, like on that Facebook site that they said they felt attacked by me, even in a way, because they don't want to dress like I do. And they are so afraid and so defensive that they had to shoot poisonous arrows against me because they could not step out of their box, right? So they felt threatened. And but I can imagine my friends in Germany and in those smaller towns, you know, they said, man, when you visit here, or woman, when you visit here, people will fall over, you know, they keel over.
I said that one of the worst ageism is auto-ageism, when you begin to feel that you are not worth to that clothes, or you are not worth to deserve a young man, or etc., etc. Ageism is something. You've gone. You've gone.
I'm back, right?
I repeat this. I normally say that one of the worst feelings is to be ageist. Now, when you feel, when you yourself think that clothes is not worth for you because you are old, or that sort of color in your head is not worth, or it doesn't fit because you are old. So I think we have to work a lot on ourselves to fight against these thoughts of the society. This is
Yes.
your experience, no? Tell us a little bit.
Absolutely. I think that fashion can really work as a tool for us to get more clear about who we really are and what we really want. And it's really about feeling what you wear. Not, it's like when you go to your wardrobe or into a clothing store or online, don't think, what should I wear, for a certain occasion or for your age or for what your community expects. Just feel your outfits, feel the colors, the structures, the materials, just like tune into it, like a meditation. And so when I went into my wardrobe today and I said, what would I like to wear for you, for your audience? I chose, the fairy tale or storytelling mesh top and a little vinyl underneath, which is a little punk, right? So I have the magic and I have the feeling of strength underneath, because that vinyl gives you that feeling of power, right? And it is that what I feel, but also for myself, because that was my mood today, to be a fierce storyteller, a fierce woman with, I always say it's a soft revolution, it's softness and power. And so I wanted to express that for myself, but also when I go outside, this is what people see. This is my message, right? And so I can, your outside is like a communication, and other people can actually be attracted by it or repelled, of course. And you can even, incite communication talks with what you wear and make new connections. And so I think that fashion is so undervalued for what it can really do for us. And, it is even, when you want to do it as therapy, you can, when you go into your wardrobe or when you go online and you see crazy clothes you would love to wear but you don't dare to wear, you could ask these questions of, whose voices do I actually hear at this moment? Who's talking? Is that me, or is that my dad or society, right? So it is a whole process of wearing a sexy dress when you are 60. How do you really feel? Not what the people might say. How do you feel? And if you feel beautiful, that's what you will step into, and that's what you will make the world see.
The saddest thing is that sometimes or some women fulfill this expectation. So they begin to dress in a certain way, more serious, because they're old or they are aging, and that is terrible. So what's your experience with age? When was the first time you felt bad, or you saw something, or how?
It was in my 50s. I was still pretty radical in my thinking. I totally believed I would never get old, right? So it's not my thing. Why should this come into my life? And I always believed that beliefs are very important and they co-create our reality, right? So, and then one day, you look into the mirror and you say, no, not me, go away, right? So I was so scared. And then, you have those little aches and pains and you feel really that everything is going down. And so one of the things I did is I took a picture of myself when I was 40 and glued it on the mirror, and I look at that picture and say, that's me. And there was a study done once that they put people for a month or two into an environment of, let's say, the 70s or 80s when they were younger. And so they lived only seeing pictures of themselves in an environment in which they were younger, and they measured that physically they rejuvenated. They could measure on the organs that they got younger. And so I thought, this is fascinating. Okay, I do that. but it doesn't work. It works a little bit because, what I said, it's your attitude, but you still get your wrinkles. So there we have to decide what to do, if we want to just accept it and make the best of it. And I am not one of those women who goes out there and says, I'm happy about my wrinkles. That is the map of my life. That's not me. I would rather have a 40-year-old skin in my face or in my body especially. But we make the best of it, right? So we can reverse it if you have let it go a little too fast. If you start with 40 and eat all the right food and supplements, drink a lot of water, do all the things we need to do to stay in a body that is younger, then you have a good chance when you start early. I did not, because I never believed in getting older, right? So for me now, it's a little harder. I do all the supplements which are rejuvenating and preventing more decay for inside and outside. I do, I started again finally after the COVID kind of depressed me for a while, to run and to do some weights, and I eat vegetarian, all those things. And for me, like taking pictures of myself with my iPhone is a confirmation of that, what I see in myself, what I want to be. And so if I am like doing my thing on photos, right, it is like an affirmation, like a mantra. It's like I take these pictures, I look at the pictures and I say, yes, I'm okay. I'm okay. And I'm not still okay. But many people say, oh, I'm still looking okay or good for 60 or 50. No, I am just okay the way I am. And I think when we come to that point to just say, what am I? Who am I really? And how can I express this? And then you do it. Then suddenly you get that new confidence of being who you truly are. And it doesn't matter what age that is. You have something to say, right? That's why I call it ageless.
Because if not, it seems like a race against reality, against nature, against, if you're quarreling too much against age, I think it's terrible also. It's I think our generation is still in the middle. We awaken of this view of age, but I still don't see that wrinkles are beautiful. I don't find wrinkles beautiful. It's very sad that, because it's a map of your life, no? But it's because we've been so
conditioned. Yes,
and society and the paradigm of life is that old people are ugly, so that's why we are not able to see ourselves with kindness when we look at the mirror, as far as we are aging. That's why I love your story. I love the way you look on Instagram, because it doesn't matter your age. It's the way you feel. And I think let's say old people or old women or age women should have a presence online, because if not, it's only young people being fashionable.
Right.
Our project is called Viejenials, which means in Spanish old and millennial, because I was fed up that only the influencers were millennials. Let's be a lot of women being influencers of our age,
Yes, absolutely. And I think we are, quite a few women are doing it but in perspective, if you look at the bigger picture, there have to be many more. It's really a wake-up call, and is what you said, it is what we feel in the inside. If we don't feel it, that we are okay and powerful, nothing helps, right? Because then any little criticism of the outside world will hit us. You know, we have to really feel it, that we are relevant, and that is finding that true sense of self, that true value and the uniqueness we have, right? And that is not just that then will show on the outside. I mean, that's important to me. And I'm still in a process of being the woman I think I can be. I don't have it all together, but I'm on a good road to get there, right? And I always think that we can teach or others best when we felt the pain, when we are on the road like everybody else, or people who want to get on the road, because when I know how it feels to be invisible and to be afraid, and to be, you know, afraid not to be seen and acknowledged, then if I am a couple of steps ahead of others, I can tell them, hey, this is how I did it, you know, come on, we can all do it. And that's, you know, women supporting women. That's so important to me, that we are in it together, and that women actually love each other and not see each other as competition. And, you know, when I went into these live talks recently, I was so astonished how that is still such a problem, that women are still in competition with each other, that they are still thinking, oh my God, I'm going down when I'm 40. And that being solo, that you don't have a husband or live on your own is a stigma for some people. I had no clue. It's like when you look, you know, we are in our circles on Instagram and friends and things, and it all feels like, oh wow, we are so progressed, we are so evolved, we are making it, right? But then when you step out into the big world, oh my goodness, all this stuff is still there, you know? And I am so curious when I go to Europe, how will people react to me, right? Is that different in Europe than it is here? Because I mean, Los Angeles is packed with beautiful people, right? So you are so little here, right?
Well, it depends where. Maybe I can talk as in Spain, maybe in Barcelona, it's all your look is perfect. In the northern Spain, women are very powerful. In País Vasco, maybe in the south we are more conservative. Here, at certain age they expect you become an old lady, no?
Not with us, right?
Not with us.
So when I started the Ageless Rebellion a couple of years ago, and I was really angry, and my whole philosophy was like to turn anger into something productive, but I still was angry. So all my copy, my titles, you know, for my talks and things, they were pretty like in your face. So one of my first ones was, don't you ever call me senior, you know, because in the word senior, so many negative thoughts are in this word, right? You hear senior, you see somebody who is weak and you know, brain doesn't work so well anymore, and so on and so on. And what I also wanted to say is, I am doing a talk on the power of laughter and the inner giggle for our women power. And it is fun to laugh about things, and it's freeing, but I think it's really bad to make jokes about ourselves. So I feel it's really important that we all watch out for things like, oh, menopausal brain, or, oh yeah, I'm too old for this. You know, all these little things which we have learned to adapt to, and which everybody says, no, you know, it's when you don't find your keys, it's not because you're old. You know, it's because everybody is looking for their keys all the time. And suddenly, somehow in midlife, we put everything onto, oh my gosh, I'm too old. Or, you know, it's like I freaked out because I couldn't remember certain names. And my son said, I can't, Mom. And you never could. So I said, oh, it's true, you know, it's not my age. But it's like when we remind each other what to do and what not to do every day, it's really important. It's important to write a journal. And, you know, I did in the beginning, also 2-3 years ago, I made this Ageless Rebel planner it's for 2 months. And it's divided into, you know, what do you feel in the morning? How would you like to structure your day out of those feelings? What do you want to achieve? Then you have a part where you make notes of your day. It's like, how much sugar did I really eat? You know, you can figure that out in the end of the day. For me, it was, I'm only eating 1 cookie a day. And then you look at your notes like, freaking hell, it was 10 cookies, right? Or, you know, oh yeah, I'm doing enough workout. Oh no, I only ran around the house once. You know, so the observation of what we think and what we do is important. And then, you know, at night you can forgive yourself and reflect about it.
And as you said, the mindful actions, and the important thing, which is to organize your mind as you grow old or age. This ageless planner is still on Amazon. We can buy it.
Yes, yes, if you like to, please. Yeah, it is really, it has helped me to, you know, I was doing, it took me a couple of months to actually put it all together. And then I put it online. And again, my son is always a good advisor. He said, Mom, if you really want to talk about this, you actually have to do that thing yourself, right? So I did it for a couple of months, and it really made me see things I hadn't seen before. And it's you know, it's a commitment. You know, you have this thing in your pen, and your pen, that's what psychologists say. If you write something with your hand, it lets your subconscious talk, not so much your rational mind. And so you find these new things. And for me, it was really revelatory. Is that a word? It was really helpful in my process. Yes.
Yes, you said that aging is a bitch, but at the same time we can reverse, and aging could be a gun, really.
Right. It's because you come to a point where, and I think that's one of the few good things is, first, it's urgent, right? When you hit a certain number, you feel your mortality. You know, you have another 30, 40, 50 years to go. And suddenly that seems so little, right? And you, in that urgency, people say, so did I really live a life that I wanted? You know, so that is a good thing of aging. And so you can turn all these negative thoughts into something positive. When I hit 50, I got all these letters in my mail about reserving a graveyard, buying my urn, you know, joining AARP, which is a platform for old people. And I was so insulted, you know, it hurts, you know, so you're 50 and I get these death letters in the mail. No, I'm not planning for my death. Thank you, right? I'm planning for my life. And that is another one, you know, when people hit retirement, or people over a certain age, they plan for retirement. I plan for my next chapter. I plan for the chapter after that chapter, because it's ongoing. And if it hits me, if I have to die, okay, then I die in the middle of my chapter, you know, but I'm not planning for the end. You know.
Yes, and also because they expect that you live only with persons of your age. This discrimination is terrible because they don't allow, it's not in our mind to be mixed with millennials. You told me last time that you like very much to go to these coffee shops, and then all of a sudden you feel that you are the only age person because all are young, but you feel okay there. It's
right.
It's society is terrible in that way.
It was a journey though for me also, right? The first time I went to a writers conference That was also like 2016, 2017 in the beginning. And I was still in that shock of suddenly feeling old. I remember driving to Manhattan Beach, which is an hour from Los Angeles. And all the way driving, I was thinking, oh my God, all these people in this course, there will be half my age. They can all be my kids. You know, I cannot go there. I cannot go there. I was like turning around 2 or 3 times, right? In my mind. But I had a life coach at the time, and she gave me affirmations of what to say, you know, and I had something on my wrist, which I don't know what it was exactly anymore, but something I look at and say, I can do this, right? So I made it to the conference, which was one of those epiphanies, because nobody, but really nobody cared how old I was. I was completely accepted because I was a writer like everybody else. And that is the thing. It's like if we find people who have a similar vibration, a similar mind, you know, like they are loving the same things. At that moment, I have experienced age becomes irrelevant. Because if you find people, let's say you are an eco-conscious person and want to save the world with vegetarianism or something, right? And you meet these people who have the same ideas, they won't look at you as an old lady or as a teenager. They look at you because you're one of them. You know, so I think it's also really cool to for us to find people who are into similar things, doing similar things or thinking similar things, and you know, lifting each other up, you know.
But what about dating? Is that the same feeling? Is that the same vibration? What about old ladies liking a 40 years old man? Have we the same permission as they have, as men of our age have? That is
No.
terrible, really?
No, I don't think so. It's like, I think people are still seeing, and that's what you said earlier about the internalized ideas, right? Because if I don't like men my age because I'm as scared of their wrinkles as they are scared of mine, right? Because we don't want to look at death, right? I mean, to be really rude. So when I see guys, or I told my son, I don't understand why I don't find anybody. I'm not that, you know, I look okay. I'm fit and funny, and so you know, it's like, why don't I find anybody? And then sometimes I showed him a picture of somebody I met online, or a fancy, or so, and that's all guys around 40, 50, you know, maybe 50, you know, but 40, 50, and so he said, Mom, you are too picky. You know, you're always going for the young guys, and you know, maybe look in your age group. And I thought, I can't really. It's they're all boring, because our generation, especially, you know, it's like when you're over 50, you might be luckier, but over 60, that generation, so many men are just giving up, right? And they don't care for their bodies, and they have old-fashioned mindset and the whole patriarchal system, and you know, so I would, you know, what you actually asked, and you can cut the other stuff out. What you asked was,
how do you feel when you face, for example, a 45-year-old man that you like? Do you feel ashamed of your age? Do you feel powerful?
I think at the time now, I am more in denial. You know, I don't allow myself to feel, rarely allow myself to feel a sexual attraction, because I have internalized that cannot be. You know, so dating for me was always a problem. You know, it's like I am not a very open person, especially not towards men. And there is a group I'm in, it's called Solo, and it talks about why people prefer at any age to be solo rather than in a committed relationship. But many of these people go dating. So I don't want to go dating because superficial stuff bores me to death, and I could never have sex with somebody who I only find physically attractive. If the mind isn't like sexy, I can't do it. And so here in LA, especially, many attractive men are not that deep, you know. And I need the experience of life in people. So I might be feeling attracted to younger bodies, but I think I would be happy to accept a couple of lines if the person would be of a young mind. That's what I'm looking for. Somebody who is vibing like me and wants to live forever and has similar ideas. So if I would go out with a 40-year-old at this time of my life, I would not be that fierce, that I would not feel people looking at me as if I was his mom.
Well, just to finish, I would like you tell the audience, what about these crazy old ladies in New York, which are working very hard to change the way old persons are seen in fashion?
I find it an amazing movement, the advanced style ladies, because it really brought ageism into the limelight. It really got attention, and Seth Cohen is an amazing photographer who put his heart and soul into this project, and you really feel it. So I find that really cool. On the other hand, it is, I guess, far away from what the regular woman looks like and feels, and especially has money to spend on. I would not, I mean, most of the pictures I see, it's more in the direction of high fashion and designer clothes and really super amazing. I would not at this time in my life have the budget to go and spend thousands on my outfits, and then I would think that many women don't have that. So yes, I think as a cultural bang, it is an amazing trend or initiative, let's say, but it's not realistic for many of us. And I think that
anyhow, it's a weapon. It's a sort of
yes, exactly. It is what I said. It is loud and spectacular and amazing, and it made everybody stop and look, right? Not everybody, but you know, many people. It was in the media everywhere, and so I think that is inspiring, and is an aspiration and an inspiration for us, because we are not afraid anymore to do what we feel is right for us, right? And so for me, I think these women were more or less at the same time out there when I started with the Ageless Rebellion. And I am theatrical. I am not as ladylike, right? For me, it was more to say, who's my inner child? Who is that girl who wants to finally be seen? Who had to be what my parents and what society wanted for decades? I want to give voice to my soul, and that is the young inner child soul, right? So that's why I did the mini skirts and things. But everybody is different, and everybody has a different passion and a different inner person who wants to be heard. And these ladies are very elegant and very much their age. You know, they look wealthy and put together. Where I go into alleyways and do my pictures in front of street art and put some pink in my hair. So it really is what anybody feels like, and everybody is on a different step in their journey, right? Somebody, what I might find lame could be amazingly provocative for somebody else, because, you know, we start somewhere else. We start on a different level to evolve.
But I heard that these women said that as you become old, you become invisible. So let's be freaky, so as at least we are visible, no? That is sort of a message to end this conversation. Angie, thank you very much for being with us. Thank you very much for being so inspiring. And I hope the audience will follow you. We have your address of your social media. Let's say that she's now very fond of Clubhouse, which is a new sort of social media of Apple. And I hope we see each other soon, because she's coming to Europe. Va a venir a Europa, a vivir a Europa. Vamos a tener la suerte de poder hacer seguramente talleres con ella. Así que nos vemos pronto y muchas gracias por sumarte a este proyecto de congreso. Reenamórate de tu vida, nada menos. Go and fall in love with your life, even being 60, 70, 80. Right?
Vamos amar a nossa vida. Eu posso falar português, não espanhol, mas português.
Muchísimas gracias por estar con nosotras.
Muy obrigada.